So I'm going to show you guys how to make gel food today. I primarily feed gel food to my goldfish along with veggies and bloodworms and that sort of thing. I do use pellets as well, but not as often as I feed the gel food. I'm going to show you guys how to make a agar based gel food tonight, and I'm making it with the agar because it's supposed to be good for swim bladder problems, and my little bronze oranda there, Puff, he has been a little bit light on his feet lately and suffering from some swim bladder issues. Whenever I feed him pellets, he gets really floaty, so I'm going to be doing some agar gel food instead. If you don't have fish with swim bladder problems, you can alternatively use just regular gelatin. I have used the Knox gelatin in the past. Works just fine. So yeah, it's a good way to get some different foods into their diet, and it's really healthy for them, so I'll show you guys how to make that. Here's the ingredients you're going to need. I use kale. That's probably 2 or 3 leaves with the thick stalks taken out of them. A half a red pepper chopped up. A little cup of peas. I usually actually just use a small jar of baby food that's just peas, but for some reason the store I went to didn't have any just pea baby food, so I'm going to just use some frozen peas there. You're going to need spring water, some pumpkin. This is just plain pumpkin, nothing else in it, no additives. Acidophilus tablet, you can see it right there. Some garlic, and you can use fresh garlic, but I'm using the stuff in a jar because it's a lot easier. And then also some agar powder, or however you pronounce it. This stuff is tricky to find. I found it at my health food store in the bulk section. And then also a fillet of, whoa, gosh, that got, I should have expected that to happen. A fillet of salmon or tilapia or something. So right now I'm just boiling this salmon just to cook it. I'm boiling it in a little bit of spring water, and I'm going to add the kale and the red pepper in there as well, just to soften it up a little. So I'll go ahead and let that cook for a little while. Alright, now that everything has done cooking, I've just added it all into a bowl together. So the kale, the red pepper, the salmon, the acidophilus tablet you can just break apart. So it comes in that little capsule. You just pull the capsule apart and dump out the powder into there. About a teaspoon of the crushed garlic, and I usually do like 3 tablespoons of pumpkin or so. And that's it. So now I'm going to add a half a cup of spring water. Should have poured this out first. And I'm going to just use a hand blender like this to blend this all together. So now that all those ingredients are nice and pureed, you can see there it's a little soupy, I'm going to put a half a cup of spring water into a pot and let that boil. So once your water has started boiling, you're going to add a tablespoon of that agar powder slowly to it. And turn heat down to medium. I'm going to mix that up, and you'll see it thickens almost right away. And I'm going to add this. Mix that together. After that mixture is well mixed, you can just pour it right into a long baking pan. And I'm going to just put this right in the refrigerator and wait for it to cool and set. Okay, so now that the food is nice and firm, you're going to use a knife to just go through and cut small squares. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now that I have this all cut up into little squares, I'm going to just transfer it onto this baking sheet. It's a little tricky to do holding a camera. So you're going to just lay it out on the baking sheet, separate all the pieces so that they're not touching one another. Like this. And then you're going to put this baking sheet in the freezer for a little while until it's frozen, you know, maybe a half hour, an hour, something like that. So now that your food is frozen, you can transfer it into just a big Ziploc freezer bag. I usually put the date on it, and then you can put it in the freezer. Freezing it on the cookie sheet before you put it in the bag actually helps the pieces not to stick together while they're in the bag. So this is a good step. And that's it. So when I feed the gel food, I usually, take one piece out and then break it up into smaller little pieces as I feed it, so that it's bite size. Puff's not very good at getting the food. So just little pieces like that. And you can take out enough for, a couple days at a time, and just leave them in the refrigerator in a container. And it really isn't, really messy in the tank as long as you have made it thick enough consistency.